And if you think about water, very simple, but water is a key ingredient of successful agriculture. Without it, we cannot grow any crops.
It's an honest communication discussions, because at the end the honesty is seen on what is outside. How is the sky? Is it really blue? And what does it mean for our climate and for our sustainability?
If we don't take action now, we will have significant issues in the future. And then I get back to that paradox. Is on the other hand, how do we feed the world without starving the planet? It's something that we need to take action now from that perspective.
On the statistic level, everybody is doing perfectly. In auto statistic, 98% of Romanians do waste collection. In reality, in the official statistic, is 4%. What are the urgent measures that the agriculture industry can take to streamline water consumptions and conserve water resources?
It's a very good and very present topic to discuss. If you look at our company, really we are a science-based company. That means science for a better life. And we, as being a global company, we have the responsibility to shape agriculture together with our farmers and really take care of the resources on our planet. And if you think about water, very simple, but water is a key ingredient of successful agriculture. Without it, we cannot grow any crops. So if that is the situation that we need to operate in, most importantly is how we manage it. And thinking about the environment that we are currently operating in, technology, innovation is really one of the solutions, even in the area of water management. If you think about what we as a company are doing, we're in this whole digital transformation environment. We are looking at how we can apply the right amount of water in the right place in a field. And that sounds very simple, but it's not. How do you make sure that when you want to grow crops and have a good yield, obtain even more yield from a same amount of surface, you need to use the technology. What we're currently able to do, and just to share a little bit about how this high level works, we have a lot of information. We have information about the fields that our producers, let's say our customers are producing. We know exactly, the amount of soil consistency that is there, what the soil looks like, what are the nutrients in there. One of the things that is also available is the amount of water that's in the soil. If you after seeding your seed and making sure that you make your choice for the specific crop you want to grow, you're able to apply based on data modeling. So you have different layers of information, you put them together, and you know exactly at which meter in the field you need to apply a certain amount of water to have an optimal yield. To do that, we need information. So that means a partnership with our growers, with our customers, to ensure that you don't over-irrigate, that you don't use too much water, but that you use the right amount at the right time, because that's very critical for optimizing your production.
And agriculture, in fact, is responsible for approximately 26% worldwide on the greenhouse emissions. So what can the industry, the agriculture industry, do something to reduce these emissions? And how do you tackle it? You talked about digitalization. We know about the Green Deal, recovery funds on the European level. You are a global company, as you said, and you said you need to have this responsibility. How does it look really into the business that you are doing on a daily basis?
Our focus until 2030, because we as a company really need to take our responsibility here, is to reduce greenhouse gases by 30%. And how will we do this? We really need to focus on implementing energy efficiency measures across the globe. It's not that if we have one location or one part of our company taking this responsibility, all of us need to really take the responsibility to reduce the use of natural resources and energy. One of the things that we are committed to, for instance, is really the shift to 100% use of renewable energy by 2030. And I can tell you we're not there. We need to really take big steps in this direction. We need to have a commitment across the globe as being a global company. And we think that we need to take the lead. On the other hand, if you think about only these things, no. Again, you can link it to using your technology in a better way. If you are able to really increase the amount of yield to produce and to obtain more yield from 1 hectare of field, can you imagine what that would mean if you would be able to roll it out at a global level? That means that you really would be able to make a game changer in regards to agriculture globally, because to be able to feed the world, you need less agricultural land. And less agricultural land means less activity of farm equipment on that land. You are able to turn it around and maybe even give back land, because we also have a commitment of really increasing the biodiversity. That means enhancing, from that perspective, the carbon capture and investing in that environment, thinking about giving back to nature. And this is something that is important. I mean, if we don't take action now, we will have significant issues in the future. And then I get back to that paradox is on the other hand, how do we feed the world without starving the planet? It's something that we need to take action now from that perspective. Can you share with me your perception on how hard it really is for people to adopt sustainable behaviors?
It depends with whom you talk. As an urban NGO, we are facing and talking, in fact, to 3 different target groups. We talk to government and authorities, we talk to business community, and we talk to the consumer at the end, the one which has to decide with what he buys, how he behaves, and what he does. But we need the legislation, and we need the authorities to be also in the terms of education, in terms of knowledge, at that level to be able to support and sustain whatever the consumer and the business community needs. So it is hard when you don't have a support. And unfortunately, for many years, climate change and sustainable development were on the nice to have topic list. Thanks, or unfortunately, climate is so bad right now that it started to be in the eyes of politicians, not only in Europe but also into Romania, but unfortunately still at the beginning level of understanding and the real need. If you look into the statistics on consumer about how implicated they are and how they would like to have sustainable measures in their life, let's say they want to make separate waste collection, or they close the light when they leave the room, or they close the water when they don't make the big long bath. On the statistic level, everybody is doing perfectly. Out of statistics, 98% of Romanians do waste collection. In reality, in the official statistic, it's 4%. So, see, this is a topic where we have this ethical position where you have to be very careful when you interpret the data. The most important thing from my point of view is still education. Education on all levels. Education on the authority levels to understand the social, economical, environment impact this kind of legislation can have for them. And we talked before about Green Deal Recovery Fund. We talked about exactly what is the direction of the European Commission to really untackle this, the opportunities sustainable development can bring. On the other hand, when we talk about business community, I think that it's on the time that also national, but also other multi-international companies which did not yet align to understand the sustainable development is really part of the business plan.
I can imagine, being responsible for an NGO. It's a challenge, but what can you share on the main challenges of an NGO that is really focused on sustainability?
Oh, I could talk for 2 hours and we don't have this time, unfortunately. There are challenges, but there are also opportunity. If it would not be cool and fun, and at the end we will not have results, you will not tackle on this direction. I think I talked about education, the importance of having the understanding of the partner you are talking to. So this is something that we are working very hard on, especially on authorities and business community, because there is where, in fact, we need their help as one of the most important stakeholders. So for having sustainable and long-lasting NGOs, which really are able to be a part of the community and be a partner for authorities, for the business community, we need transparency, we need dialogue, we need, of course, the financial support of companies to understand that it's also their involvement to support these kind of actions and to be a long-term partner. And I see it a lot in the companies which said, okay, we would like to make a CSR project together with you, but we don't want communication costs or administrative costs. Reality is we have to have a partnership when we take a subject and try to have very clear KPIs. It's exactly like in the business community where we said, where do we want to get? What does it need to get there? And it's exactly the same mixture like in the business community. You budget, you have revenues that you need to invest in the project. You have KPIs, quantitative and qualitative, that you are following. But what is important is, as I said, communication and dialogue, which is a very transparent one, the reporting. I think trust is a very, very, very important issue, and also this long-term focus on topic. What I like in our projects usually is that we from the beginning stay at the same table with our sponsors, usually private companies, establishing what we would like, what is the direction, but also with the administrative part, with the authorities, figuring out, not blaming them, but also staying on the same table, understanding which are the barriers they are having, and also trying to find together solutions, problem solving. Having this kind of angle in trying to really commit to do a difference. But this has to be also clear, it is together. You cannot be as an NGO just alone yelling on a corner of a street or trying to do so. Of course, you can raise the attention of media. It's very important as a tool maybe as well for some of them. But I'm the one talking about dialogue, problem solving and transparency. It's an honest communication discussions, because at the end, the honesty is seen on what is outside. How is the sky? Is it really blue? And what does it mean for our climate and for our sustainability?